Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hot Mess. It is October 2nd, so with that being said, happy Halloween, Des.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, it's an exciting time. Real quick before we get started though, I know we said last week that we were going to have a special guest, but something has come up and she was not able to be on with us today. But we are shooting for next week. She will be on with us at some point in the next week or two, just whenever she gets everything situated with her home life. So, anyways, yeah, so it's an exciting time.
Oh, yeah.
Spooky season is here, alive and well.
Love it.
It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite time. I love having all the holidays around the corner, because, you know, having, like, not everybody celebrates, but a lot of people celebrate these holidays, but everybody does it differently. Mm-hmm. There's always different traditions going on. And I think that that's probably like the best part because nobody celebrates the exact same.
I do like to hear about traditions other people have.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely. I feel like it's like a really good conversation because it's like, you know, what this person does, I'm like, oh, that's actually really cool. Like, let's start doing that. Or like, maybe I can give ideas or something. Mm-hmm. Like, I know, that there's people that, you know, like for Thanksgiving and Christmas, you do a big dinner.
Yeah.
I know people that for Halloween, they do like a big dinner, but they'll do it like, spooky style.
Ooh,
you know, like
idea.
the hot dogs that look like fingers and shit. Like they do that stuff. They have little Halloween parties and stuff. My aunt, she actually, she lives in Texas and she has a huge fucking house. She actually has 3 storage units that she rents individually. Mm-hmm. One is for each holiday. And my mom said it's filled to the top.
Man.
So, like, for Halloween, she actually has a haunted house at her house. They go all out. So, that's, like, one of their traditions. It's super cool.
It's very trusting of other people.
Oh, yeah.
Letting them into her house.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if they come into the house. Mm-hmm. I think last year she did the haunted trail type of thing outside her house.
That's cool.
Because she lives in a very wealthy neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Like, the CEO of that hospital is her neighbor.
Oh, shit.
She also lives on the same street as the owner of Whataburger.
I love Whataburger.
I do too. So that's the kind of neighborhood that she lives in.
Bougie.
Yes, very bougie. But if looking at her, like, you can't tell. Okay, like, she is one of the coolest bitches ever. She actually just dyed her hair blue. She just got her septum pierced. She reminds me a lot of you, actually.
Oh. Just with money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But she's super cool, though. Like, she's very alternative. She's the cool aunt. So, it's cool. But, yeah, she does things like that. The haunted trails and stuff like that. I don't know if they dress up, but, you know, it's a cool tradition that they do because they can do it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. So what do y'all do for Christmas? What do y'all do for Halloween?
So we don't have a ton of traditions for Halloween. One of the biggest things is letting the kids pick out their own pumpkin to carve or paint or decorate. And, well, I mean, I do have one kid that has to have her costume made just about every year because she can't pick something that I can buy.
That's the oldest one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because
The Venus flytrap.
yes, okay, I remember you telling me about that.
Man, that was tricky. But I enjoy that. But they wait till the last minute. So I guess it's a tradition to, like, last minute some costumes.
Rush.
At this point. But we go all the fuck out for Halloween. Corn mazes. Pumpkin patch if we can get to one. All that stuff. Because I wasn't allowed to celebrate as a kid. So it's a fun holiday. I want my kids to enjoy it. I like to enjoy it.
It's kind of funny that you tell me that you weren't allowed to celebrate because, like, you know, you're like a goth punk alternative mom. Mm-hmm. You know, the crazy hair, the tattoos, the piercings and stuff. So, like, to hear that you couldn't, like, celebrate it, I bet that was, like, fucking torture.
It was miserable, because that was the devil's holiday. But kids that I went to school with went to a private Southern Baptist school.
Mm-hmm.
There were kids there that got to celebrate Halloween. So they'd come back to school and be like, oh, we got to go trick-or-treating, and I dressed up as this. And I'm
So
like...
you didn't even get to go trick-or-treating?
No. The first time I ever went trick-or-treating, I was 19. I was 19. And pregnant with Kiki, by the way. Yeah. That was the first time I ever got to go trick-or-treating. We did things like Hallelujah nights, where we got to dress up as Bible characters.
Oh, y'all had like Hallelujah. Again, can't talk.
Yeah.
Hallelujah houses.
Hallelujah night. So we had Hallelujah nights in it was a play on a haunted house, but like a Christian spin to it. They were either called Hallelujah night or Hallelujah houses or Hell houses. Which, Hell house, it sounds scary. It's they could get scary. Like there was one in particular, it was called a Hell house. And when you walked in, and it was in a church, when you walked in, there was a casket, and the tour guide or whatever was telling you how this person died, they're going to hell. This was very all scare tactics. So you walked through the church, and each room had different things that would send you to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of them was an abortion. So...
What the fuck?
Yeah, like... had actors playing out a botched abortion. They even had like a skinned squirrel covered in fake blood. It was graphic. One of them was drinking and driving. They decorated the whole room with a drinking and driving accident. This is going to send you to hell. There was one room where the actor was an OD'd person.
Mm-hmm.
Drug paraphernalia scattered around the room. You're gonna go to hell if you do this. And then you go down to the basement. There were some other rooms, and I can't remember what they were, because this was a long time ago. You walk down to the basement. In the stairwell, there were people that were grabbing at you. And then flames, like fake flames, were coming out because you were going down to hell.
That is fucking insanity.
Oh yeah, it's look, I don't bash on other people's beliefs, but if your religion is based on fear, I have a problem with that.
That's the thing, like, and I was just having this conversation with my sister-in-law today, actually. Like, we don't go to church. I have not been to church in almost, like, I'd say probably like 8 or 9 months, because it's literally to the point of, like, if you sit and listen, everything that they preach is basically like, if you do this, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you use scare tactics to get people to believe in this religion? Like, that's not how it should be, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you to have, like, and I'm pretty sure you guys had kids there as well.
Oh yeah, I was a kid.
That's crazy to me.
I think I was like 12, maybe 12, 14. But yeah, it was all scare tactics, and the Devil's Night was to celebrate Satan and all this other stuff, when that's not even remotely true. And I didn't question this until I got to high school, a public high school, and I was telling them, about how the Hell House, and they were like, "That's weird." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was weird, because that's what I was raised in."
That's normal to you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one of the Hallelujah nights, I was dressed up as the Virgin Mary. There was one year I was a sheep.
Yeah,
no scary costumes ever.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy to me, because, like, when we celebrated, like, we went to haunted houses all the time. We dressed up. My dad would always go all out with my costumes. Like, if I wanted to be a witch, yeah, we're going to make you into a witch. And I'm talking the green face, the beak nose, the fucking mole and shit. He would spray paint my hair, like, with the actual, like, hair color. And we whenever we lived on base in South Carolina, they had haunted houses
Mm-hmm.
all over that motherfucker. And it was so fun. Like, as far back as I can remember, we always celebrated. And, like, as I got older and I got into scary movies, which that's not saying much because I was into scary movies at the age of 5. I mean, like, first scary movie I ever watched it wasn't even really scary. It was Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, every weekend, the whole month of October, we would have a scary movie marathon on Saturdays. Like, we would watch the Scream marathons, Freddy versus Jason. We would always watch Freddy Krueger. So yeah, but that's crazy that you never got to experience. I wouldn't say haunted houses because I feel like that was definitely scary.
Yeah.
But it sucks that you didn't get to, like, enjoy your childhood.
Yeah,
for
I didn't
Halloween.
get to have a fun holiday at all. Like, everybody else is, we went trick-or-treating, we got all this candy, and I'm like, well, I didn't get any candy. They're like, well, what did you do? I went to church. We went to church. But no, I wasn't even allowed to watch scary movies.
That's
Because,
crazy.
you have to be mindful what you watch.
Because you're going to release it into your house.
Yeah, there's a whole, I don't know if it's actual Bible verse, but it's pretty much be mindful of what you watch, what you put into your brain, whatever. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, so there's a lot of, like, classic horror movies that I've never seen because I was not allowed to watch them.
That is crazy.
I remember one of the very first horror movies I saw that was actually scary at the time. I think I was 15. And it was a movie called May.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. It was fucking weird. It's a Lionsgate movie, if you know what Lionsgate films are, like the M. Night Shyamalan kind of type thing.
Okay, yeah.
Lots of plot twists. Really, really, really fucking weird. But yeah, that was one of the first scary, like, quote, scary movies I ever got to see. Like, Gremlins was classified as a horror movie, so that one was okay.
I fucking hated that movie.
I loved Gremlins. Loved Gremlins. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was as far as we got.
See, I still love scary movies, and I love classics. Like, I watched The Exorcist when I was 12, because, like, my dad had told me, because my dad seen it in theaters when it first came out.
So did mine.
And, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Your parents went and seen the fucking movie?
My dad did. So my parents didn't convert, or my mom didn't convert into Christianity as hardcore as she is now until the 80s, like, not long before I was born.
Uh-huh.
My dad didn't follow with her at that time. Like, they were together, but he was very much not that hardcore into it. Like, he would go to church with her, or sometimes he wouldn't. My dad used to be an alcoholic. My mom, they had a rough, they were adults in the 70s. So, yeah.
I gotcha.
So, yeah, they used to do stuff, that fun stuff, before I came along. All my siblings got to experience all that shit. I did not.
Well, like, like I said, I watched Exorcist at the age of 12. Now, I was traumatized. I slept with my dad for, like, 2 weeks. But, man, we just did stuff like that all the time. Like, I look back and I'm like, I cannot wait to experience that again through my kids' eyes.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, things like that, like, you never forget that. And so, like, we celebrate all month long.
Yeah, we do.
We don't just celebrate for, like, the 2 weeks before Halloween and then Halloween day. Like, no, we go every fucking day. Like, we're gonna watch scary movies. I decorated my house yesterday, or the outside.
It looks super cute too.
Oh, thanks. I still got a couple more things to do. But, the decorations, which that's actually my first time getting to do that. Like, we did the pumpkins and stuff, but we always lived out in, like, the country areas where we didn't have neighbors, so there was no point in decorating. So this is my first time getting to do that. But, everything else we did,
I think that's why I want to go so hardcore with the kids and having their good experiences with the holiday, was because I didn't get to have that. And I want them to have those memories. Like,
okay, had a small break. Anyways.
But yeah, I like to go hardcore with the kids. That way they have those memories. And then, because Halloween is supposed to be a fun holiday.
Uh-huh.
We started it off with Friday night. We watched Hocus Pocus 2. Me and the girls.
Was it good?
Oh yeah, I loved it. There are so many people that are like, I hate it. It was awful.
I haven't got to see it yet. I'm waiting for, like, to have time to actually sit down and watch it. Because I go ADHD sometimes. I'll start watching a movie and then I get up and I start fucking, like, doing dishes.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. A lot of times I get really, like, you know, ADHD and I just can't focus.
I enjoyed it. The girls enjoyed it. It was geared a little bit more towards kids than the first one. Like, it was a little more... Because, you know, the first one's got some, like, spooky elements or whatever. It's more all ages friendly than the first one was.
I gotcha.
I liked it. There's so many people hating on it, and I'm like, fuck y'all.
Don't watch it, I guess.
Right. But yeah, we do... They pick out their pumpkins. We want to do all of that stuff because I want them to have those good memories. And I might be living a little vicariously through my kids because I didn't get to have that experience. But it's supposed to be a fun holiday that you do things together.
Yeah.
And so we've always gone all out with the kids. And I, every now and then, will hide little Halloween decorations around my mom's house. Like, she still bitches about the fact that we take the kids trick-or-treating. She really does. Like, she has tolerated it. But yeah, I do hide little Halloween decorations around her house for Halloween. She never notices.
See, man, it's crazy because, like, I remember, excuse me, I burped. I remember my dad, but I was probably, like, 16 or 17. Actually, no, I think I was, like, 15. Somewhere around there. My dad got me tickets to this haunted house, and, like, it's in Memphis, and it's this one big building. And it was basically 2 haunted houses in one. Like, you go this one, and then you get out, and you go around to the other entrance, and it's, like, a completely different one. One of them was, like, clown circus themed. And then the other one was, like, kind of like Dawn of the Dead and zombie themed and shit. The clown one was the creepiest fucking one. Number one, I don't really care for clowns. Number two, it was like bloody and like it looking clowns and shit. It was like, there was this one time, you have to like climb through this like little wall thing.
Oh no.
And there was this clown statue right beside it. You had to go through the wall or whatever. And as I'm crawling in this fucking hole, like, I say hole, it's like a really thin wall with a hole through it. All you gotta do is just step in and step out kind of thing. As I'm climbing in and like I'm getting down on the other side, my hand is kind of like up here on part of the wall. The statue that I thought was a statue grabs my fucking hand and is like pulling me through.
Oh God.
Bitch, holy fucking balls. I was like, no, absolutely not. And then they chased us with chainsaws out of the fucking house. So, like, you know, things like that was super fun. We made it a point to go to at least one haunted house. Now, I've never been to a haunted trail. I've never been to, like, a haunted maze or anything, because, like, I've always heard about them being around here, but I've always heard that they weren't that good. So me and my dad, like, we never really wanted to waste the time.
Right.
But we would always travel out to go to haunted houses.
I've never been to one.
Well, we're gonna change that. We're gonna go to one this year.
I will say that there is a haunted trail in I can't remember what it was. They were asking for help with special effects, and Waldo was like, "Hey, my wife does this stuff, so I might get to help with one this year."
That would be super cool.
I've got to tell you about the offer to work on another short film with my special effects stuff.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
I get to make a dead person.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah.
That would be so much fun. But yeah, definitely we need to change that. We need to get you to a haunted house like stat, because I feel like you cannot actually say that you love Halloween until you've been to a haunted house. And not just like, oop, another burp. Not just like some shitty ass like 5-minute haunted house. Like, we need to get you to one that's like on some real scary shit.
Make sure I go pee first.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I love doing that stuff. I am looking to start new traditions. Like, this year I want to actually do, you know how like families in Christmas do like the pajamas and shit, like on Christmas Eve, and like they'll watch a Christmas movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that for Halloween though.
Yeah.
I want to get like spooky pajama pants, lay out in the living room, watch a scary movie, you know,
That'd be cute.
after the kids go to bed, and then when they get a little bit older, maybe doing it with them. But yeah, I feel like things like that, like people celebrating it different ways, I feel like that's one of the coolest things about the holiday is like no one person celebrates it the same exact way as somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, speaking of pajamas, have you seen the matching Halloween pajamas at
no,
Walmart?
I have not.
They're little mummies. Like, the mom says Momster or Mommy Monster or something, and then they've got mom, dad, brother, sister, and a dog one, too, by the way.
They have a dog one? Oh my god.
They're really cute.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I've not seen them. I've always just seen like the family pajamas for Christmas and stuff.
They've got them for Halloween this year.
Well, I definitely need to go to Walmart then and get some, because that's awesome. But yeah, I actually, another tradition that I thought was super cool. My dad dated this girl for like 3 years, and she didn't do it right before they split, but she did do it the first 2 years. She had a Christmas tree that she had up all year round. She would decorate it for seasons and like holidays and stuff. She decorated it for Christmas, and it was so fucking cool because like the first year she did it, it was like spider webs and like skulls and shit, super cool. But the second year that she did it, it was Nightmare Before Christmas themed.
Ooh.
And it was the coolest thing ever.
And then you could just leave that up for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, she has it up all year round. She never takes it down. Now, she does take it down periodically to, like, clean it and dust it and everything, because it does catch dirt. But it was the coolest thing ever. Like, I would never have thought to do something like that. And then her little Thanksgiving tree was super cute, too. She'd have, like, little turkeys, and she, like, you know the chicken leg toy set, like the kitchen set or whatever, it's got little chicken legs, she'd put those on it too. She'd tie like strings through it.
Oh, that's cute.
It was the cutest shit ever.
Oh, I want a Halloween tree now.
Yeah, for real. I last year I did a black and white theme Christmas tree. This year I think I'm gonna do black and gold. I just gotta find more decorations, because we literally live like an hour from a fucking like home decor shop, and so like getting up there is like it's so hard, it's difficult.
Like, I want to go to Michael's so bad for Halloween decorations.
I've never been to Michael's.
Oh, it's like, it's so I don't particularly care for Hobby Lobby. I will go to Hobby Lobby since that's the closest hobby store we have, but Michael's, their Halloween stuff is next level. It's amazing.
Yeah, I definitely do. We have a Michael's around us?
Just want to cross the river.
Well, then I guess we need to go across the bridge and go check that out, because I love things like that. I don't know if Spencer's still does it, but there was a time that like they would have some Christmas decorations at our Spencer's local, because you know, like they come out with the Christmas sweaters and stuff.
Yeah.
They would have like a very small select area of like Christmas decor.
Yeah.
But it was not your typical decor. Like there
yeah.
was I remember seeing this one like decoration. It's like that you hang up on the tree. It was a dick with a fucking Santa hat on. and it was like the dick and balls, and then you had the Santa hat on where the balls were.
Wow.
It was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, but of course, when I seen it, I was still living with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not gonna buy it and put it on a fucking Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Why
is there's this dick on our tree?
Yeah, and I can't do it now because we got kids and shit. But like, definitely, it was so fucking funny because they're bad about dicks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I definitely I want to go all out. Not we're still unpacking into the new house. So it won't be this year, but eventually, like, I want to be one of the people on this street that, like, my entire house is decorated, like, from the backyard to the front. Because we have a semi-decent sized front yard.
Mm-hmm. Like, you could decorate down your fence.
Yeah, I mean, I could decorate down the fence and shit. Like, the tarp or whatever that's, like, bloody and shit, definitely. Or, like, do, like, crime scene tape and stuff.
Oh,
that would be super, super cool.
I have a roll of crime scene tape, like legit crime scene tape.
Why do you have that?
I found it at a yard sale, and it was $1 for a whole roll.
That's unsettling.
I think it was a former police officer. That was the reason he had it. It was an estate sale, so whoever all that stuff belonged to had passed away.
Okay, I mean, I could see that, but yeah,
that's where the garage couch came from.
Speaking of garage sales, I was actually talking to my instructor for my new job, and you've seen our uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
He has told me, he's like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I'll go to a garage sale and we have these shirts. He's like, obviously I take them because, that if it gets into the wrong hands, it could be used for ill intent. But he was like telling me about it, and I'm like, dude, like, that's crazy. I would have, before he told me that, had I come across one in a garage sale, like, I probably would have been like, huh, that's cool, and put it back down,
Yeah.
But now I'll be on the lookout. But anyways, Halloween.
Yay.
You know what is really weird to me? And I think I've said this before. I'm a big Scream fan.
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite slasher ever. The sexual tension between me and that mask is unfucking real.
Yeah.
I would probably get pregnant if I ever put a mask on Jake, which I'm going to put a mask on Jake eventually. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Plan B will definitely be stocked up at that time. No, so you know how they've been coming out with a new movie periodically?
Yeah.
It's never around Halloween. It's always at the beginning of the year. If you're going to come out with scary movies like that, why wouldn't you come out with them around Halloween?
Right. I never even noticed that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the newest one that's already out came out in, like, March. Like, why?
That's weird.
Why would you do that?
I mean, I guess people like scary movies all year long, so.
I mean, I'll watch a scary movie every fucking weekend. I just introduced 13 Ghosts to Jake. He'd never seen it.
Oh, I love that one.
It's a fucking classic. He's never seen it. So we were like looking at Voodoo, and we were like, have you ever seen this? No? Okay, well, you're gonna see it tonight,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, I mean, I get it. I watch scary movies all year round, but I mean, like, for it to be so close or so soon after the holiday, why wouldn't you do it, like, around the holiday?
I need to show 13 Ghosts to my teenagers.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like you cannot be a true horror fan until you see 13 Ghosts or The Exorcist or something like that. That's actually...
The Exorcist scared the shit out of me. I watched it when I was 16. It scared the fuck out of me.
Oh, absolutely. But she's going on my leg piece. Leg sleep or whatever. Yeah, Reagan. Did you know that the true story is actually about a little boy?
Did not.
Yeah, it's about a little boy, and they did an exorcism in a building that is now a school.
Oh.
And they actually have that wing blocked off. You can't go in.
For good reason.
Yeah. I might... Now, don't quote me on that, because I may be thinking about a different story that actually happened. But I do know that there was an exorcism performed in some building that is now a school, and that whole wing is blocked off. You cannot enter it. Because they believe that the devil still resides there or whatever.
I mean, probably.
Totally believe it.
Any scary movie that has exorcisms, demon possession, or paranormal stuff scares the fuck out of me. Because I am a full-on believe in demonic possession. I believe in ghosts. So I'm like, these things could happen.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, like, I get so freaked out about Ouija boards.
Oh, I won't even touch one.
Because I've had experiences with Ouija boards before. Things that could not be explained other than from the fucking Ouija board. I remember I was spending the night with a friend of mine. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Homemade Ouija boards work just as fucking good.
You had a homemade Ouija board?
Yes, bitch. We had a homemade fucking Ouija board. So...
That's bad juju.
Very, very bad. We decided to make a Ouija board. And so we did. And we were going to play it. It was me and her sister, and like another girl. And, bitch, I'm just going to say right off the rip, it was not good. We had some weird shit spelled out. And this was before we knew about the figure 8 rules. We didn't even know the rules.
Oh.
We just went into this like gung-ho, okay?
Yeah, because there's a certain way you have to open them, and then there's a specific way you have to close them.
Now, I knew we had to say goodbye. And I knew you didn't let, what's it called? The
planchette?
The planchette. You did not let it come off the board until you said goodbye. And you never put it back on the board if you were not playing the game. Well, we knew those rules. We did not know the blessing. We didn't know the figure 8s. We didn't know if it did the countdown and stuff like that. And it did all this. We also did not know that if it starts spelling out like violent things to immediately stop. And like repeatedly it would spell out like kill. It would spell out die. It would spell out like hell. And then there was one time where it spelled out one of the girls' names. Super fucking creepy. But anyway, so we were playing it this night, and they had a grandma that had passed away like years ago. They were super, super close with her. And so one of the girls, the room that we were in, it was the older sister's room. She had this plaque of her grandma in like this, have you ever seen the beds with like the fucking bookshelves built around the bed? It's like built into the wall.
Yeah.
So she had one of those. The cubby hole was probably like 8 inches tall in length. The plaque was about 8 inches. So whenever you put it in, like, it's kind of hard to get in.
It fits snug.
Yeah, very, very snug. It was, yeah. So we were playing this Ouija board. I hate saying playing because it's like a game, and it's really not. But we were doing the Ouija board, and they were asking about their grandma and all this shit. Well, it started to do the countdown. Didn't really know what it was doing, because again, we didn't know the rules. Then it would do figure 8s and shit. When we got done, we played this motherfucker for like 2 hours. Oh my God. We were drinking, like, to us, we weren't taking it serious.
Taking your fingers off the planchette.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell you how many fucking times we take our hands off the planchette and shit.
You're not supposed to do that either.
Not supposed to do that. So anyways, and their house was already haunted. I just want to throw that out there. They already had something in the house that I had experienced personally. That had no problem making itself known. It wasn't bad, though, but it definitely did not have a problem making its presence known. Like, I mean, lights turning on and off, TV turning on and off, the TV channel switching, doors shutting, can't be explained, stuff like that. So we were playing this for like 2 hours, and we get done, we're ready to go to bed, And so me and the girl that I'm staying with, we go into her room, and her sister and her friend stay in her room. Mm-hmm. We get to the room and had just shut the fucking door, and the older sister starts screaming, okay, like freaking the fuck out. We come in there, the plaque was face down. Mm. Now, again, it fit very fucking snug. It was not something that would just fall over, okay? It was face down. So we were freaking the fuck out about that. So I was like, no, bitch. I'm not going anywhere in this house by myself. So then we go back into the room. We turn on the TV, and I doze off just enough to where I can, like, I'm aware of, like, what's going on around me, but, like, I'm sleeping, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Lightly sleeping.
Yeah, very lightly sleeping. And the girl that's with me is, like, freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, what is the problem? She was like, the fucking channel just switched over. And it switched to, like, cartoons. I don't know the cartoon that it switched to. Mm-hmm. But the fucking remote, like, she left it on her nightstand. So how did this fucking channel just randomly switch? I don't know. But yeah, there was a lot of weird shit. So when I went home the next day, I remember praying. Like, I was praying so hard, like, please don't let something follow me. Please don't let things happen in my house. Because at this time, this is when my dad was working nights. So
my God.
I was always home by myself in the middle of the night in the fucking country.
No.
Okay?
No. So,
yeah, don't play with Ouija boards, man.
Mm-mm. I don't even buy things that have that pattern on them. Mm-mm. Like, I see people that have earrings that are planchettes, and I'm like, nope, no thanks. Mm-mm. Little purses with the Ouija board on them.
The blankets and shit?
Yeah, no. Nope. Like, why would you sleep under a spirit board?
Have you ever noticed, like, you can buy them in Target, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know the ages is 8 and up? Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking, like, it's insane.
It's in the board game section.
Yeah.
It's not a game, man.
Not a fucking game. I don't understand how people do that shit, honestly. But I was also stupid because I've played with it several more times after that. Like, yeah. And you should have seen when her grandma found it.
Oh.
Holy shit! It was not good. She burnt it. Set it on fire.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, no. Never touched one. I do know my best friend when I was 16, she had one. And I told her, because she was like, hey, look what I have. And I was like, nope. I don't want anything to do with that. Because this also, that my reasoning with that was also still stemming from a religious standpoint. That was demonic, because it is.
I mean, yeah, religion to the side, it's still evil.
Yeah, like, because my mom is one that does believe in demonic possession and ghosts. She is very much a believer of what does she call it? The spirit world, spiritual warfare. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I mean, I believe in that too.
Yeah, so she, I knew Ouija boards. Nope. So whenever I'd be over there, she'd put it under the bed. In her house, so her dad used to be something. He was on the levee board, so they had a house that was next to a levee, like in a little dip next to the levee. I didn't stay at her house very often, at all, because we would be sitting on the couch watching TV, and down the hall you could see shadow figures all the time in her sister's room in particular, which we weren't allowed in. Fine, because she's the older sister. But yeah, you would constantly see things out of the corner of your eye, constantly. And her room, my friend's room, was always the coldest room in this motherfucking house. Always. Mm-hmm. So she had this specific spirit in her house that she called Frank. He'd knock things over, lights, all that good stuff. But never seemed aggressive. Mm-hmm. Like, he was just kind of chilling there. Because that house had been there for a really long time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, she always had that board under her bed or in the top of her closet when I was there. Out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still in the fucking house. In her room. So there was one night, this was actually kind of close to Halloween. So I've always been one that believes Halloween is where the veil is thinnest. That's when, you know, you get a more paranormal activity. Yes. Mm-hmm. So this was close to Halloween. And I'm staying the night at her house, and it gets fucking cold in her room. Like, we had, 4 blankets on us. It was so cold in there. And we could not get it warm. So, you know, the lights were flickering a little bit, and TV would just go to static. Instead of changing the channels, it just went every now and then. And real quick, just... So I'm like, I kind of want to go home, but it's the middle of the night. So I'm going to go to sleep. So I go to sleep, and I have this nightmare thing where Frank, who I know is Frank, even though, you know, I don't know what the fuck Frank looks like, pinned me to the bed. Grabbed my arms at my bicep and, pinned me to the bed. It was really aggressive. And I wake up and I'm like, freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, it's just a dream. I'm good. The next morning, though, I wake up and I have bruises that are shaped like somebody's hand on my frickin' arm. And I'm like, okay, that's the last time I'm staying the night at your house. No. So I never went back to her house at all.
That's crazy. I've always, ever since I was a child, I've always had experiences. Mm-hmm. I also experienced when my mama passed away. She died at 1:30 in the morning. I woke up from a dream at 2:05 or something like that. To my mama actually walking. Now, I lived 3 hours away from her. Mm-hmm. I had a dream that she came into my bedroom and kissed me on the cheek and said, I love you so much and I will see you later. And she walked out of my door like she was just leaving.
Yeah.
I actually woke up and it was like 2:05 or something like that. And the next day I go to school, come home, do my homework, eat dinner, And at 5:30 on the dot, my dad comes in and is like, I need to talk to you. And he tells me that she had passed away. I knew that I had that dream, mm-hmm. but I couldn't make sense of it. And then I found out weeks later that she had passed away at 1:30 in the morning. And so I just kind of felt like that was her way of telling me goodbye. Mm-hmm. But now Jake has always had something follow him. Even as a child. So now and I wish I would have known this before I got with him. Because now I just kind of have to deal with it. But everywhere we move, everywhere we've ever lived together, we've always had encounters. You can hear footsteps going in the hall. You see little shadows in your peripheral vision. Mm-hmm. Jake has a tendency to get freaked out. And he did, we have security cameras. Yeah. So whenever he was staying home during the day, when he was out of work due to injury, mm-hmm. I would come home and he would just be really unsettled. And one day he told me, when you're at home by yourself one day, just listen to the security camera. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, what? You're not making any sense. He's like, it doesn't matter when. During the day, at night, just turn your camera on and listen. And I'm like, I don't want to. I mean, when you tell me to do that, that makes me not want to do it. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's some of the creepiest shit that you will ever hear. He said that he'll hear people talking. He'll hear of voices and stuff. And it sounds like multiple people are talking. Okay, sorry guys, we had one more break that we had to take. But anyways, back to Jake. But yeah, we've had encounters a lot. And he has, very rarely does it happen, but it does happen. He'll wake up in the middle of the night from dreams. Dreams of somebody holding him down. Dreams, I say dreams, but it's almost like you ever wake up because in your mind you hear a noise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he would wake up like that, but it would be people talking to him.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Yeah. So, it's things like that. And it doesn't, I don't let it freak me out, because I feel like when you show fear towards things like that, it'll progress.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never done anything like physical or violent in any kind of way. It doesn't mess with the kids. Now, there have been times where Raven is like scared to go to her room, or she'll get up in the middle of the night and come to bed with us crying.
Yeah.
But other than that, it doesn't do anything to us.
Yeah.
Now, like, just yesterday, my son was, like, looking up, and, like, his eyes were following something that couldn't be explained. But, I mean, like I said, I don't let it get the best of me. Sometimes, whenever he does that, I just pick him up and start playing with him. Because it's like, okay, stop doing that now. Like, you're freaking me out.
We don't acknowledge them.
No, don't ever acknowledge it. And Jake will sit there in the house and, like, he'll try to tell me about what he's experienced. And I'm like, Jake, stop. I don't want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Stop talking about it in the house, because it makes it progress.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to talk to me about it? Let's go out to eat and talk about it. Okay? We're in this house. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't even want to know when we leave. Okay? Because I'm already scared. But in this house, do not fucking discuss it. Don't want to know.
Yeah. Because it gains more power when you acknowledge it and focus on it. So, let's not do that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's like when people have, like, priests and shit come bless their house. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you not realize what you're doing here? You're pissing it off is what you're doing. Mm-hmm. If it's something that's not causing issues to you, it's just a minor inconvenience, but it's not physically harmful to you, just leave it alone. Yeah. Let it be there, because you coming in to sprinkle your fucking holy water and shit, okay, you're just going to piss it off, and it's going to be like, you know what? Now I'm going to fuck with you, okay? Have you heard about the house over here that was on that show called A Haunting?
No.
There's a house here in town, and I'll show you the episode when we get done with this podcast. I will let you see the episode. They call it the Van Landingham house. And
is this the one with the pool house in the backyard?
I'm not sure.
It have like windows on the back of the house?
Possibly. But it was actually on the show. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that happened on the show, and like you can hear them talking about it and stuff like that. Like the family, it's like the real family, they'll talk about it. But it's like, you know, when you're doing things like that, I feel like you're just causing more issues for yourself. Because there's absolutely no fucking way that right now I'd have somebody come to my house. Now, I do sage my house. I do burn sage. That hasn't seemed to cause any issues. But I feel like when you come in and you're like reading from the fucking Bible and you're spraying holy water everywhere, it's kind of like,
when your main goal is to get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean,
those intentions are clear.
Right. Like, it's gonna know what you're doing. Now, I mean, the sage, you know, that could be used as a way to get rid of it, I believe, but that's not my intentions. I cleanse for all negativity to be released and stuff like that. But now I'm pretty sure if I come up in there and I demand rent, you know, that's gonna be the same result.
If y'all don't quit slamming these doors, you're gonna be paying some shit.
Right. Now, just like my door slammed a minute ago in front of us, me and homie gonna have a conversation, because what goddamn bills are you paying in here to be slamming that fucking door?
That was crazy.
Was a bit crazy.
I'm just glad that I was not the only one that saw it.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that saw it. I wasn't going to say anything until you said something.
Because I was just staring at the door, and it just goes, boop. I'm like...
It wasn't even graceful about it. It was just like... Can you imagine, like... I feel like it's a parent or grandparent or something, like a kid walked out. Yeah. Shut the goddamn you know.
That's pretty much how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually the first time that's ever happened.
That was crazy. And it wasn't like your house is off level.
And the wind wasn't blowing at that time either.
No. And it would have blown it in if it had been.
Well, not to mention as well, anytime, like, whenever I carry groceries and stuff in, I'll leave the door open to carry groceries in, making trips and stuff.
And that door stays open.
It stays open. It doesn't, that's creepy.
Doesn't swing closed.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah. Kind of ironic.
Ooh, that feels nice with these nails.
Yeah, I don't do long nails.
I don't do pointy nails.
But yeah, so I'm glad that we did this episode. I'm super excited because I feel like all of this month is going to be like spooky shit, ghost stories and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, thank you guys for listening. And again, we will keep you guys updated on Twitter as far as the special guest. We should be hearing from her soon about when she'll be able to come on. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, then come back in for next week's episode because, again, it's going to be spooky. But we're going to end this video here, and we will see you guys next week.
See y'all later.